Brian will be along shortly. So
He's waiting on you to start it so he can come in late.
So he
He's
can
got a
jump in.
timing.
yeah. Well, why don't you mute everybody, David, Carolyn? Do you want to introduce Jerry or want to jump right in?
I can introduce him. He's
Okay.
my buddy from Valley Industries, and it's a sheltered workshop on McDonald Boulevard. And Nancy and I went there to visit Jerry, a week ago or something, and he took us on a tour around there, and it's just a very interesting place. And all those people really love their jobs and love Jerry. So I'll let him tell more. And thanks for coming, Jerry. I appreciate it. I think you could talk now.
Yeah, there you go.
Am I unmuted?
You're good now. Thank you. Okay, you're muted again.
How's
Okay,
that?
that's good.
This stuff makes me so nervous.
Don't let us make you nervous.
Dave,
Yes, sir.
are you going to have your meeting first at the
No.
beginning? Or
You can go ahead and start. You're good.
Oh,
Go ahead and start, sir.
okay. Well, good morning, everybody. My name's Jerry Hart. I'm the sales and marketing director at Valley Industry Sheltered Workshop. If you've not been to a sheltered workshop, I would strongly advise for each and every one of you, there's 90 in the state of Missouri, to go to a sheltered workshop. And if you want to see miracles in action, just go to a workshop and watch the enthusiasm and the love that the workers have for just having a purpose in life. When I was a kid, the majority of folks that I came across that were developmentally disabled, there weren't many. You didn't see them very often. They were either hidden in their homes or I grew up on Bellefontaine Road where they have that big structure there where developmentally disabled folks are kept also. You didn't have much of a chance to see them or talk to them much, but they were always friendly, loving folks. When we go on hikes as kids in Spanish Lake, there was one guy, and he'd be working up at Tomboy's up the street in Spanish Lake, and he'd be cleaning a lot off every day. And he was developmentally disabled, and we'd come over and we'd be hiking through Spanish Lake, and we'd come over and talk to him. And he was so enthusiastic to say a few words and be recognized. But then the next thing you saw, he said, I got to get back to my work, and he'd get right back to his work. And he was a really good little kid of seeing who these guys were going to be when I went to work in Valley Industries. So just to let you know, it's kind of a long ago description of memories. But today, what I'm seeing are workers that have a purpose. They're living much longer. They enjoy their fellowship and their time together with their friends, etc. So if you get a chance to go see one, it would be a really good idea. Their parents had a vision to give their kids hope and a future. And it also gave the parents an opportunity with their kids having hope and a future and a purpose to have a job. It gave the parents an opportunity to get away from home and get jobs also. So this was really a freeing mechanism for their entire family, for people to be able to make greater choices and spend more time doing the things that they have a purpose for also. So the workshop industries came about. Valley Industries started in 1967. And again, it's a sheltered workshop providing meaningful and dignified employment to our workers. When you see the work that they're doing, it's amazing. Right now, after the COVID thing, we had to let our workers go for about almost 2 months because of COVID when it first started. And when they were allowed to start coming back in waves, you could see that they were just so ecstatic to be there again. And many of them were saying, I don't ever want to be let go again. Please don't let me go. Please keep me here. You're not going to do this again, etc. I mean, they want to have a purpose. They want the fellowship with their fellow workers, etc. So the workshop system has done a great job, I believe, from what I've seen, especially with the staff involved, providing these things and keeping it safe. And right now we have about over 2/3 of our workers, over 130 workers coming in every day and enjoying the work. Typically, in a regular year, we'd have about 200 workers there. Many of them are still coming, picking up work and taking it home, because some of them live in group homes or they live with their parents, and there may be a weak immune system involved in the family or whatever, or in the group home where they don't want the workers going back and forth. So they come by the workshop and we give them work to take to their home where they can still do work and have a purpose in what they're doing. So we try every way we can to keep them up and going and give them opportunities. So the other thing that they love is getting a paycheck. You know, we just kind of take that for granted that we deserve it. But for many years, these guys, you know, they always did what everybody else told them to do. Now they got their own paycheck and they can, you know, buy a soda or get a sandwich out of the machine, whatever they want to do, and make their own choices. And that gives them freedom that they enjoy also. So it's, again, a great purpose for these guys to be able to come to work every day. They're also loving. They love to help and serve others, especially in a business community. When I brought Aunt Carolyn, and I call her Aunt Carolyn because she's Tevin Hall's aunt, and I kind of snatched her from me. But when I brought her and Nancy through the workshop a couple of weeks ago, and we took a tour through, and they saw the step-by-step that our workers were doing, the workers actually loved seeing people coming through the workshop and watching what they were doing and seeing their skills and abilities. So it just made them feel like they were viable and people cared about them also. So that was awesome. Every day we have meetings because we're ISO 9001, 2015 certified. We have meetings with our staff and how we're going to orchestrate every job. And on a daily basis, we may have anywhere from 8 to maybe 12, sometimes up to 15 different jobs going on our floor, depending on what the needs of our customers are at that time. One of our daily jobs that we do is Missouri Lottery, and all the packaging, assembly, kit building for those things. Those have to go out to 5,000 different locations. And it's actually our workers who are certified to use the computers to get the information off. We do have savants who are very capable of getting the information off, passing the information on to the workers on the line who are moving the cartons up the line and gathering all the different paper stock items, et cetera, and putting them into the cartons and sealing them and putting the labels on. But it's just a step-by-step process. And IGT loves it because they see what our guys are doing as they're handling this, this important work from the Missouri Lottery standpoint. And our workers love it because, again, it's a really unique, different job. It's in a very secure area of our facility. We're also surrounded by Boeing, whom we do a lot of work for. So the workers, again, very much enjoy having something that's repetitive, continuous, and their skill level in doing things that are repetitive is above normal. I would say that they're very gifted in doing the repetitive work when there's many folks out there, workplaces that don't like to do constant repetitive work. Our workers love that. So it's a perfect fit with Missouri Lottery coming in. Missouri Lottery, when they first saw what we were doing, we were taking their computers apart because they were sending their motherboards out to other states that were using the same computers. And as we were doing that, they came through and they saw the workers doing all that work, taking them apart. And they thought, man, these guys do a magnificent job. Could you guys do our packaging also? So again, when our customers come on the floor and actually see what the workers' capabilities and abilities are, they're astounded. And they said, could we possibly have our packaging done here? And I said, listen, folks, on this job here, I told you, you're my boss. when someone comes to Valley Industries, I said I've owned business, and in the ownership, I always wanted my vendors, et cetera, to see me as their boss so I could get the things that I needed to keep my business functioning well. And I said, that's the way I look at you. So you're my boss, and this is your facility. So let me take you in the back and show you a good, secure place. And we went back there and looked through the entire thing. They put together the plan on putting it together, having the things removed out of the room, what needed to go in, and how we had to set up with cameras and all that, because again, it's a daily pickup that's got to be done and shipped out. And the security is critically important to them. Every single aspect that they had in mind, we were capable of doing, and they were excited and gave us a 7-year contract to move forward. And it looks like we'll be moving forward into a 10-year contract at this point. So the workers love that kind of work. That's just one of the many jobs that we're doing on the floor. But to give them that purpose again is very, very exciting. We also do Boeing. Boeing has multitudes of millions of metal parts that they need cleaned. And they get silicons built up on these little metal parts. Some of them are bigger parts, some are smaller. But some of these metal parts are $50, $75, $100, $200 for each piece. When we get these parts in, we want to make sure they don't disappear. At Boeing, on occasion, they disappear. They don't disappear at our place. We wait on them when they come in. We clean the silicons off. We have the materials and the items necessary with grinding wheels and those type things. We have sonic cleaners that we can put the parts into. But the great thing about it is the workers know the parts because we have simple charts, pictures of the charts. We can sort them. We can get them cleaned up. We can put them into the cartons by sort, size, and type, and then send them back to Boeing. And Boeing is excited every day because they don't have to worry about when or where their parts are, where they're coming in from or whatever. They know that our workers are doing that job on a continuous daily basis. So again, it's not something that a lot of folks want to do continuously, but our guys love the work. Cintas. I go to a BNI meeting every Thursday morning, St. Charles West BNI. Cintas came to a meeting and they were talking to workers constantly or wanting to quit their jobs because they'd have to take their hangers and inspect them and reform them and reshape them and detangle them and then put them all on the racks and stuff, all going the same way. And I said, well, most folks don't like that kind of job. They're looking to move and advance into something else. I said, but I've got workers that would love that kind of work. And they said, really? And I said, yeah, please come out to the workshop, take a look at what our guys are doing and the gifts that they have. I said, I believe we can do this job. And we've done multitudes of millions and millions of hangers for Cintas. And it's freed up their workers to do the essential work that they need to do with the uniforms, et cetera, and the hanging up of the uniforms. But our guys do the inspection, the reforming, the detangling. And it's a job that just gives them great pleasure because, again, it's continuous. It's not complicated in their eyes. It's just something that they enjoy doing. So when I see customers out there that are going through those kind of situations where they're wondering, well, how can we take care of this job and retain our employees at the same time? There's options out there. There are 90 workshops in the state of Missouri, and it's a great option for folks looking for the repetitive work options. That's what our guys do. Jerry Kelly Heating and Cooling came to a BNI meeting, and they were talking about the same thing. At the end of every week, their maintenance reps were having to decollate and recollate all of the paperwork that they gave out through the week because they're giving out paperwork to surrounding neighbors at jobs that they go to and those kind of things. And to decollate it all and recollate it and figure out what they had or not on a Friday after working all week wasn't something that they were really crazy about doing. And when I heard that, I said, hey, I said, come on over to Valley Industries. I know a bunch of folks over there that would love to do your job. And again, taking the burden of the continuous repetitive work off of their back, their maintenance reps and whatnot were more able to look forward to doing their jobs, handing out the paperwork and not worrying about from that point on, how are we going to get all this stuff back? You know, they don't have to worry about it at the end of the week, getting worn out further by doing the decollating and recollating. that our workers are very gifted at doing. So I'm saying these things because when I was younger, again, a lot of these folks, when I was younger, it seems like they didn't live very long. And I always thought it was because of their physical disabilities or their developmental disabilities. But what I've come to realize is our guys are living longer and longer and longer. Men, I mean, we don't care if they work at our place until they're 80 years old, 90 years old. They can work there as long as they want to. That's their choice. And we give them that freedom and choice to make. But the reason that they are living longer is because, again, they have a purpose. And when you see that purpose fulfilled, you see the smile on their face and you see how excited they are to come to work. It makes it a different atmosphere than what you see at a lot of other workplaces. So again, daily orchestration of jobs is critically important. We've done millions of makeup kits for a company called IME, for John Casablanca Makeup, and taking all these various items and putting them into each one of the kits and sending them out to the schools or the places where they're training them how to apply makeup for commercials and TV and all these things. Again, it's a continuous repetitive job and very important for them to make sure that those materials are correct in each one of the packs or kits that we're putting together for them. And we don't just put together the makeup kits, we also put in t-shirts and hairbrushes and all different types of things that go into the box besides that. So we also have to do double checks. That's part of our ISO certification, is that we are going to do double checks to make sure that the jobs are done correctly. If we find that some way in the jobs that we're doing, a mistake has been made, we have to back into how that mistake occurred. How can we prevent it from happening again? And how do we move forward to make sure it never happens again? So we have to have a corrective action. Again, these things are critically important to our customers. It's their facility. They're my boss. I want them to be happy and I want the work to continue. We've been doing Boeing since the workshop started at Valley Industries in 1967. So these are the kind of employers that we like to work with, people who have continuous work and have had it for years. Another job we do, we put together the meters that you have in your backyard, on your house or on the side of your house, gas, water, electric meters with the modules on them. We take the modules off. We've taken the computerized system and computerized these modules so they can, the gas company, let's say, or Ameren, they can see the amount of energy being used through a home and then send their billing out that way. Well, we do all that disassembly of the modules, reassembly, and the computerization. And it's our workers who are doing that work. Again, once they're trained, they're repetitive, they're continuous, and they know what they're doing. And they do an outstanding job on each one of those meters. I don't get complaints from that customer at all that we've done a bad job or anything. We just had a customer, Tesco, we do teeth retainers for them that she sends out, and other little retainers that she sends out for women who are breastfeeding and those type things. And we package those and we do blister packing of those products for her. Well, she just referred another lady down in Florida to have us look at her projects because they were friends in school. And this lady down in Florida has been building her own kits. Well, when she heard about us, she sent samples up to us. We've been doing time studies. We've got the job ready to go. And she wants us to put together her tea and honey kits that she sends out all over the place. And I told her when she first started, it doesn't matter if you're in Florida, if you're in Canada, if you're in France, if you're in Israel, it doesn't matter to me where you're at. We can work with anybody in the world because we're centrally located in the United States next to the airport, surrounded by Boeing, and we can do work for anybody throughout the world that needs help. So Florida is not that far away for us to be able to do the work. All she has to do is have the material shipped to us. We can get the job done. We can send the paperwork to her and let her know that everything's been done correctly. And she's very happy with what she's seen in her processes and that she set us up to do as we were doing the time studies. And now she sees the job in action. And it makes a huge difference to this lady to take the burden off of her and her mother and a friend of hers down there who are trying to get all these kits done when they get large orders, especially during the holiday time of year. So we can take some of that and alleviate the pain that people are going through when the business really ramps up at various times of the year. We can take on those additional burdens that they have. It's a big, it helps them greatly. We're also FDA registered. FDA registration means we have a company called Native Pet. They have animal chews that come over from Albania, over in Europe and whatnot, wherever that place is. They send all these chews and things, and we have them come over. We let them dry out. We have fans, and then we sort them by size: small, medium, large, extra large, and put them into their containers, put the large labels on them. Well, to do animal chews or human medical devices or food products, as we do all the, if you've ever gone to Sam's, stuck your card inside the Freosk machine and have a freebie come out, we do all those. Those Freosk machine little things, we've packaged them by the millions. Well, that's the same thing with these animal chews. And people can order them from this company on the website and get their animal chews sent to them. So Valley Industries is the one providing the work to package all that stuff. And the customer is simply doing the computerization side and the shipping side to make sure that their customers get exactly what they need. So we can, again, provide these kind of services, and it's a large variety of services that we do. With 90 workshops in the state of Missouri, we also work with other workshops. Right now, there's a little workshop in the city called Worth Industries, and they're phenomenal. Bob and Dave Orr run the facility, and they do a great job. But right now, their workforce is down considerably, and they needed some help on doing booze bottles. They're empty booze bottles, and they've got Necker labels on them. They needed those removed and replaced. There were 170 pallets of these booze bottles with 6 bottles in each case, and these pallets were loaded with cartons of these bottles. Our guys took the cartons apart, removed the labels off the Necker bottle, put new labels around it, and repacked them all. And this company was very, very excited to know that they've got a partner that can help them in a time of need like we have right now. So we're willing to step up. They've stepped up with us and taken on projects when we have an overload or whatever. We can do it back and forth both ways. We do the same thing with Boone Center and other workshops. So just let you know, it's not just a one-only shop. I see our competitors as our helpers, and they see us as their helpers. So it works out well for everybody. Okay, just to let you know, with the 2020 issues, our staff worked for 2 months doing the work that our workers would normally do because our workers were off for 2 months. Well, our staff shows up every day. They're the supervisors and the plant manager and the production process manager, even our executive director, Jim Guire. Each and every one was out on the floor working on a daily basis, doing the work and continuing those jobs that the workers had to be let go for 2 months because we couldn't let our customers down. That's our number one focus, doing what our workers have an expectation for us to do. And so seeing the work that our staff is capable of doing also if the workers aren't there. On average, our average staff has been at our facility over 20 years. I've been there about 25 years, but our average staff's been there about 20 years. Our average worker's been there about 20 years also. So the skills and abilities that we accumulate over time just continue from job to job to job. So just to let you know, it's not a skillless facility. There's a lot of skills and abilities in the various work that we do. Again, the workers never, and the staff's not going to allow that to happen if we can do the work to keep it going and keep our customers happy. We just got a brand new job from Curium. They've got large canisters with hoods that go on top. They're 2 separate pieces, and they have labels all over them, and they have marks on them and things like that. These containers or canisters hold pharmaceutical product that is shipped all over the world. That's radiological pharmaceutical product. And the hood has to be placed on it. They have to continuously put the labels on to get them to various places. And then we also assemble their cow packets and the cow packets have to follow those pharmaceutical products all over the world for where they're going to and from, so that they can keep track of every aspect of that radiological product. We're cleaning those hoods and canisters. And again, it's because it's a repetitive product that company is really not crazy about doing, but they're thrilled about being able to send it to our facility. They had 4 of their gentlemen come out and see how our guys clean this product, keep it clean, and remove the labels. When I showed them how simple it was to remove the labels, they were scraping them off and trying not to damage the canisters, their plastic canisters. I said, why don't you just take a heat gun and just heat gun them and peel them off? I said, I don't care if you guys want to do that on your own or not. You know, I don't mind sharing ideas with folks. And they said, really? And I showed them, I just sprayed it with some heat, peeled the label right off. People don't realize how easy that works. If they got, let's say, a banner or something that they put on their car and they want to get it off, just take a heat gun, spray it, and you can peel it right off. It doesn't take long to be able to do that. Well, when they saw that, they were absolutely thrilled, because there'd be no more scraping and damaging of those containers, and they're fairly expensive. So just to give you an idea, we've done enough different projects over time that we can give simple solutions to customers that help them to save money and help their workers not go nuts over having issues over something as complicated as trying to scrape rather than just spray with heat. Right now, we've got a new customer we're talking with that's got 500,000 shirts that they want us to fold and label. Again, we've done labeling and folding of shirts and those type things, but to get a 500,000 piece order, that's pretty phenomenal. We're excited about working together with them and whatnot. So they're bringing their first load over. Hopefully it'll be today, depending on how the weather is. They're out in Wentzville. They're coming in and bringing their first load to us, and we'll be working together with them. So we're very excited about these opportunities that we have, not just for what we can do for them, but for the workers to have that kind of work and see it before them every day. Again, our workers are very gifted. They're very able to do a large variety of jobs, etc. And just several other projects that we work on. I'll just throw a few more at you. Fiserv has 80 to 90,000 Marriott kits. I quoted them at the end of last year, and now they're asking, is our price going to remain the same? And I said, yes, I quoted it for the year 2021, because that's what I do every year at the end of the year. I start quoting for the next upcoming year. So 80 to 90,000 Marriott kits. We've done these things year after year after year for Marriott, but now with 2020 and the COVID, they've been shut down too. They don't have the customer base that they've had. So they're on a rebuilding process. So they want to get something out, a different type of kit build, to reactivate their clientele across the world. And we're going to be able to put those kits together for them, it looks like. So we're excited about working with them also. Potter Electric Signal Company, they make alarms that you see on the wall, big round alarms for fire alarms and things. And they simply need someone to open those, put packets of screws in them, close them, reseal them, and repalletize them. Again, it's hundreds of pallets of these things that have to be done. We just thank God for the work, and it keeps our guys going every day. BU Miriu, a medical device company, we build their kits for their machinery and equipment that they have and sell all over the world. Small little kits that we put in the poly bags, and then we put them into large batches and cartons, etc. But again, I've not had a complaint from these medical device companies. McCoy Medical, we blister pack all of their medical devices for them. And they've not heard one complaint from them for the 30 years, 20 years, 25 years that we've been doing business with McCoy Medical. It's just amazing how they just love what our guys are capable of doing. And we have 2 dental kits that we're beginning on, also putting dental kits together to send out with a large new company. So if here's what I tell people. I tell our customers when we're on the tours, if America did what our workers do, I don't believe we'd have the problems we do. They show up every day. They want to do their job. They enjoy fellowship. Doesn't matter race, color, or any of that sex or any of that stuff. They're human beings that want to come together and enjoy having a purpose and fulfilling that purpose. So folks, if you get a chance to go to a workshop and you want to see it in action, or if you'd like to come to Valley Industries sheltered workshop and take a tour through it sometime, just give me a call. I'd be happy to have you come. I'd have to take your temperature. You'd have to have a mask on. It's that simple. And then I can take you on a tour through, keep you socially distanced, and give you a good idea of what our guys are doing. But you may have workshops in your various areas where you could also do the same thing. Again, thank you for inviting us to come. I represent Valley Industries, so it's not just about myself. I've worked with Kevin Hall, the nephew of Ann Carolyn, and he's the director of corporate partnerships down the street from us, Amaritos. And I just wanted to tell you, we've been awesome friends for years now and worked together in the chambers and done things to help build the business community together. And he does a lot with the military, et cetera. And that's critically important in our nation today, that we build the business community, that we can help the military guys who have helped us and protected us. So just want to share that with you also. The business partnerships that we form are deep and wide in many cases. And I just want you to know that if a customer has an immediate need, we can say, hey, we'll take care of it, send it on over. So again, thank you for your time. It's Jerry Hart at Valley Industries. We have a website. It's Valley, www.valleyInd.net. Again, it's www.valleyInd.net. And we have videos and photos and things of our workers there also. Okay. Thank you all. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to take any questions, give you any now that I'm able.
Jerry, thank you for that. I work with, as many people know, I work with a lot of special ed kids when I substitute teach. One of the things I learned a long time ago, and I know Jerry Nolan and Tom Drennan being involved in education too, nobody is stupid. We just have different abilities. And like I said, if you judge a fish on its ability to climb a tree, it's going to fail. It's going to look stupid. But what you have done is to give, like you said, you've given these people definite, your comment about a paycheck goes very accurate. I can relate to that very much so. And thank you for what you do. I have everybody else muted. If you have something, you're going to have to unmute yourself.
Hi, Jerry. This is Brian. And I've got a good friend whose son works for you guys. Matt, Luke Sicking is the son's name.
Yep.
And Matt actually had sent out an email to most of his contact list urging people to contact their representatives about the increase in minimum wage proposal, to basically come against it because it's going to affect workers like Luke. And so our friend's son's got Down syndrome, and he's probably about 30 something years old now, I would say.
Yeah.
And basically, you know, if the minimum wage goes up to what they're proposing, you know, it's people like you aren't going to be able to, you're going to have to hire, I guess, people that, I guess, you know, it's going to make it hard for people like you because these people aren't looking for the salary, they're looking for the work.
Right. Well, here's the other key to this, Brian, and thank you for bringing this up. It's critical right now that people understand. If I work at 20% of my fellow workers and it's not my fault, it's just my capability, you're not going to pay me the same as someone who can work 80% better than I can. And that's the problem. So many of these guys have so many skills and abilities, but they're not, and it's not their fault. So when we pay them, they're paid based on their ability to perform. Again, it doesn't matter if they're the guys with less ability or most ability. They want to be their purpose and they're living longer, and it frees their families up. So there's too many benefits to this for the workers. It's against or for minimum wage. It's looking at the special needs of the abilities that they have and being realistic. Want these folks to have a job and a purpose, or you want to just not have anything to do and then eventually pass away. That's really what it comes down to, is their life. And we want to see vibrant and excited and alive. And Luke, I call him Luke. He's a great guy, always friendly, always waiting, always saying hi. He's always super nice. Those are the kind of folks I want to see helped till the day I die. So thank you for that, Brian.
Welcome.
Hi, Jerry. This is Ruth Randall. My niece has Downs and she works at Boone Center. But
yeah.
how many people do you have there at Valley?
We typically have about 200 developmentally disabled workers, 32 staff. And right now with the COVID stuff still, mandated and the masks and all these things, we have about a little over 130, about 137 workers coming on a daily basis. And the balance of them, some of them are coming in with parents or their group home leaders and picking up kits to take home and do work at home so they can continue to have a purpose and still get paid. But again, like I said earlier, some of the folks that they're living with may have weak immune systems and they don't want them interacting back and forth. So that's their choice, and that's a choice we give them. So yeah, and I think Boone Center has about 300 folks.
Yeah. Thanks.
Welcome. I appreciate you letting me come out today and have a talk with you all, and enjoyed it. Look forward to anybody that would want to come out for a tour, take a look through what we're doing. Be happy to have you come. And you guys have a great day and a great rest of the meeting. Thank you.
Can you hear me, Jerry?
That Aunt Carolyn?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mention the thrift shop that they work at also and help with.
Oh, yeah. We set up a thrift store there in 2008 because we didn't want the recession to create issues. And the facility that we're at is the old Southern Cross Lumber facility over at McDonald Boulevard in Lindbergh. And the thrift store is wonderful. It used to be the display room for Southern Cross Lumber. We started it up. The workers are working over there so people can see what our workers are doing in action as they're moving things to and fro. But the really neat thing is people are bringing things from all over the world, with the airport right there, with Boeing, Mallinckrodt, all the different companies, BU, Miriu. Things are coming from all over the world into this little workshop or thrift store. And it's amazing the items that they get in there. And these ladies who price this stuff, price it so low price. And it's like buying brand new stuff and getting it for almost nothing. And the workers love it because it gives them an opportunity to meet new people continuously and whatnot. The folks in our region love it. They can purchase the items that they see there. Everybody's on it. So again, it's a phenomenal little thrift store. And if you'd like to come out there, feel free to do that also. It's very, very nice.
And I'd encourage everybody to contact Jerry and go on a tour over there. It is amazing seeing these people, all different ages, working together, and they get so excited and like to show you and explain what they do and stuff. It's a wonderful place.
Thank you, Aunt Carolyn. We appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jerry. Appreciate you coming in today.
You're welcome. David, thank you for allowing me to do this too. I know you're the head and I'm the tail. So you have a great rest of the day, and God bless all of you. Thank you.
Take care. Thanks, Jerry.
Thank you, Jerry.
Bye-bye.
Good job.
Back to you.
Jerry just put you in charge. We're good.
No, I told him that earlier. I said that I did my tour duty. That's it.
I updated TV already. No worries.
Touring and touring and touring. Oh. So Brian, how's it going? You there?
I had to take myself off mute. Sorry. I'm on my
That's all
phone,
right.
obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going. Actually, I'm on my cell because our phone system went out.
Sorry.
So, but anyway, we got a part that just came in while we were in the meeting, and so guys coming out to fix it this morning, hopefully. So, but yeah, we're doing okay. I got notification this morning that our second batch of for the round 2 of vaccines is coming in. So, but we have not been able to get any in for to do another clinic for first batch, but we'll keep trying.
That's what I was wondering, if you had gotten any more or not. So
No. It's they're pushing all to the hospitals pretty much.
yeah. I know there was one comment I saw that no private pharmacies had ever gotten any. And I thought, well, I know an exception to that.
there's a couple exceptions, yeah. And actually, so the federal government picked a couple pharmacies from each state to receive some outside of the states having anything there. And we're under what's called the LeaderNet contract. And in Missouri, LeaderNet did not get it, and some other states it did. Walmart and HealthMart got it in Missouri. So they're getting some. So there are some going to some Walmart, and Sam's is part of that Walmart stuff. But
Gotcha.
but that's the federal, and so we're still applying through the state. When it gets to phase 2, then it's all going to be through the federal. It won't be through the state anymore.
Gotcha.
And I think we're still till April before we're going to get to phase 2.
Very good. Well, glad everybody could join us. What's our program next week, Dave?
We have, who do we have? Matt Ingesman, who is out of New York. He has done a lot of work with Rotary and the UN, and we'll be talking about some of the intertwining, so to speak, of how Rotary has helped and how they have helped the UN, and how Rotary was actually a part of chartering the UN when it first began.
Very good. Sounds interesting. Some more of the global, what Rotary actually does outside of our little club. So very good. Anybody else have any comments, questions? Good.
Nope.
Everybody keep helping Dave with those program ideas, and we will see you next Wednesday. Be safe.
Have a good week.
Y'all
Thanks.
take
Hi,
care.
everyone.
Bye, everyone.